Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Nigerians in terrible state needs to come back from the precipice. Nigerians in terrible state needs to come back from the precipice. To my dear listeners from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Dr. Olisa Agbakoba is a senior advocate of Nigeria's son and former president of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA). In this interview, he speaks on the manifestos of some of the presidential candidates, issues the candidates should consider if they win the election, restructuring, a new constitution and economic development of the country, among others. Anayo Ezugu report. What are the big issues you have identified in the manifestos of the presidential candidate that should be addressed going into the general election? What we are looking at is how the issues of the 2023 election have been projected by political candidates. Some of the candidates have written manifestos, so what we did was tease the newspapers and online presentations to see what the issues have been. Generally, the big difference, I don't know what has caused that, but clearly the big difference has been that this is one of the most issues-based elections. But we have noted from several manifestos and issues we review that we may need. We are doing this to have good election that is free and fair and for a person who wants to be able to turn around Nigeria. I don't have to tell you that we are in a very terrible state and that we need to come back from the precipice. So, defining the important issues has become a very big concern. First of all, I will say that the political economy, by which you talk about politics and the economy, which carry the development of any country, so the political economy of Nigeria is extremely fragile. Will the candidates, according to their manifestos, be able to reverse it? Incidentally, none of the candidates touched the link, even though they talk about the economy and political separately. But I think it is very crucial in democratic studies that there is a linkage between politics and the economy. There is a whole field of study called political economy, but they didn't touch that. On the political side, there are three important things that we need to take into consideration because some of the candidates referred to the fact that Nigeria is terribly divided. I think we can all agree on that. We thought that the manifestos should have emphasized a lot more on how to fix the problems of Nigeria and not just what the candidates intend to do. A lot of the manifestos are filled with "we will" and "we shall." There are three things that I think will deal with the instability, banditry, and kidnappings. Remember what Bola Ige said a long time ago? unless we deal with the political arrangement that Nigerians agreed to, we will never have peace. I needed to flag that as a very important consideration that seems to be missing in the presentations of the candidate. There are a lot of talks and a bit of it is now going away, but the underlying current suggests that the legitimacy of the constitution remains a problem. The constitution was given to us by the military, and there is a very strong feeling, particularly among the subnationalities, that you can't get this thing right unless you go to the issue of how we got this constitution. So I will encourage the candidates to look at that. The second would obviously be the issue of restructuring. I like to use a neutral word, which Prof. Ben Unwabueze uses: balanced federal or devolution of powers. Again, the candidates didn't quite stress this. What it simply means is that we have a central government in Abuja doing far too many things. We need to distribute the powers. Number three is the absence of local government. It is a big gap and no candidate refers to it. I thought it is important for us to know because the local government deals with 90% of the population of Nigeria. So we need to know what exactly they are for this local government, because if they are guaranteed by Section 7 of the Constitution. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section